After forcing President Ali Abdullah Saleh from power at the beginning of the year, Yemeni revolutionaries are now demanding the cancellation of some of the trade agreements signed under the former regime, which they feel deprive Yemen of significant financial resources by plundering natural ones. As we can see in this amateur footage, demonstrators marched in front of the oil ministry in the capital, Sana'a, last week, demanding Yemen stops exporting natural gases to South Korea. The movement was initiated by a group of activists who, via Facebook, have been denouncing the terms of the contract negotiated under Saleh's rule. Each barrel of gas is sold for a lot less than the market price, which means the people of Yemen don't benefit from the country's natural resource, at a time when many people across the country can no longer afford their own fuel for everyday purposes. This latest bout of campaigning follows an initial victory for protesters who, over the past few weeks, have been asking for the termination of a concession contract with Aden Port, which has been run by a Dubai-based company since 2008. Negotiations are currently underway to cancel the agreement, which activists deem one-sided. If the country's resources were better managed, then perhaps Yemen could overcome the financial and humanitarian crisis it's been dealing with in recent months. This video was uploaded by UNICEF and explains that with the growing prices of basic food commodities, millions of people across Yemen are now suffering from malnutrition, and children are particularly vulnerable. Protests continue in Bahrain, demanding the release of activists imprisoned for their involvement in last year's popular uprising. The small Gulf Kingdom's Shiite majority has been fighting an ongoing battle against the Sunni ruling family, and the opposition movement stepped up a notch last week when an appeals court upheld heavy prison sentences for 13 opposition activists. One of them is the Bahrain Center for Human Rights founder Abdul Hadi al-Khawaja, who went on hunger strike for 110 days in protest of his life prison sentence. The appeal court's decision to uphold these sentences appears to have strengthened resolve among opposition activists. As we can see in these pieces of amateur footage currently circulating online, protesters tried to stage a rally in the capital, Manama, on Friday, demanding the prisoners be freed and calling for political reforms. Riot police used tear gas to disperse the crowds. Security forces had indeed been deployed en masse to the city, notably to stop protesters reaching Pearl Square, an iconic focal point of last year's popular uprising. Bahrain's Interior Ministry had posted a message to Twitter the previous day reminding people that public gatherings of this nature had been banned, and is threatening to take the main opposition group Al-Wefaq to court for encouraging supporters to join the protest. Syrian web users have taken to social networks to pay their last respects to Tamar al-Awam. According to opposition activists, the 34-year-old filmmaker was killed in Aleppo on Saturday as he recorded footage of clashes between government forces and rebels from the Free Syrian Army. His latest documentary was posted online last month. The 24-minute-long film, entitled Memories at a Checkpoint, bears witness to the situation in the province of Idlib in northern Syria, where fighting has been particularly fierce. The filmmaker spent time in people's homes, interviewing women and children about their day-to-day lives. He also took his camera to film in a secret workshop, where rebels were making homemade rockets to use against forces loyal to Bashar al-Assad. The filmmaker's proximity to battles in making this documentary is also to be noted. He followed members of the Free Syrian Army on various operations. We also see rebels celebrating as they take control of a Syrian army checkpoint. Tamar al-Awam, who was a member of Syria's Druze minority, lived in Berlin and travelled frequently between Germany and Syria, working as a translator for foreign journalists. He also organised rallies in Europe in support of the Syrian revolution. In this video posted online last year, we see him appeal to Bashar al-Assad to put an end to the bloodshed. The people behind the NOC YouTube channel have created this video to help voters choose between the presidential candidates. They hired doubles for Barack Obama and Mitt Romney and pitted them against each other in a street fight as passers-by looked on astounded. The Democrat and the Republican engage in a merciless battle, reflecting the current electoral campaign for the White House in the run-up to November's election.
I'll see you in November.